Hello everyone, and thank you very much for tuning in and clicking on this video. In today's video, I'm going to be doing updated version on learning how to do HFX trading. I've got one that I uploaded a few months ago, but a lot of new stuff has been added in since my last video. I'm doing a lot of different stuff in the back end in terms of IM, what they've got in store for us, which is part and included already in your subscription. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And also, if you are new to this and you don't have any idea, we're going to be going through how exactly I was able to transition from, dire straits in Victoria, going through lockdowns in the fitness industry, losing pretty much all my income, earning around about that $4,000 a week to less than 500, and not enough to, unfortunately, wasn't able to get any kind of Centrelink benefits, and just going through an absolute shit show, both mentally, physically, financially. And for me personally, I had always known about trading. I always had an interest. I'd always seen it, especially because I follow a lot of people in America. Australia, we're a little bit behind in the times of a lot of things, and adoption takes a little bit longer here. So a lot of people that I was seeing touring how to trade was always on YouTube videos, through Instagram ads, whatever it is. And I just didn't trust them. Like, you always have that little bit of doubt, is it a scam? Is this real? You ideally would like to learn how to do something like this through someone that you personally know. And I was lucky enough that opportunity presented itself through a good mate of mine, Josh. He was doing some trading, saw it on his Instagram, asked some questions, bang, he showed me the system that I'm going to show you today. And I was super grateful for that, because in a very dire straight position, almost a year ago in Victoria, now I've transitioned, I've moved now up here to the sunny coast. And I'm able to facilitate the lifestyle that I want. For me, I'm not a full-time trader in the sense of hours dedicated. I don't want to be someone who sits behind a fucking computer and looking at 20 different monitors for 6 or 7 hours a day. That's not what the case is. For me, trading, what I wanted to be able to do and to facilitate for me is the ability to go sit down an hour to 2 hours a week, make my money that I need to make, get in, get out, and then move on. Therefore, having that nest egg, having that security blanket of the money. So I've got to diversified my income in terms of there's a percentage of the money that I make goes into growth assets, things like crypto, investments, shares, and things like that. Or the other one just stays there growing and can make more and more money out of that. And then, I'll pay myself a wage out of it as well. Now, for those who don't know who I am, a bit of an introduction as well. My name is Dominic Kilworth, 28 years old. And as I said, I'm living now up here on the sunny coast. I wear many hats. I am a personal trainer. I'm an online coach, online mentor, I have a podcast. I'm a footballer player coach. So I'm still getting paid to play that. I'm a professional bodybuilder. I'm also, just do lots of different things, right? And I love it. Also, Instagram influencing, ambassadorships, modeling, fitness modeling, all that kind of jargon, right? Really, really cool. I'm really grateful and blessed for the opportunity where I'm at right now. And, that came from a couple of different reasons. One, I learned very early on how to diversify your income and making sure you create multiple streams. In today's day and age, especially even more so now, given with world events, it's never been more important to learn how to make multiple streams of income. You don't know when things can just get cut off. When I was in Victoria, I did have a few different income streams, but I didn't really know how many of those would be affected by, the Rona, and unfortunately lost a lot of those jobs. So that was a huge kick to the guts and a huge eye-awakening moment to realize, okay, I need to learn some different things. Trading fell on my lap. Fantastic, been awesome, been learning that. So started off initially learning what's called smart money concepts, which is a different form of trading. And that's been very, very beneficial. And I do strongly encourage people to go out there and learn that. And I did. The only thing with that is it does take, in my opinion, from what I've seen, I was able to learn it in 1 to 2 months, but the vast majority of my students are coming through probably takes on average 3 to 5 months. And that's fine if you're willing to put in the time and learn and apply and apply and apply. It's going to be fantastic, because that's going to create and teach you long-term financial wealth because of the way that risk to reward works and all those kind of things, right? So that's great. But again, with what's going on, I've had a lot of people reach out to me. They've lost their job. They don't want to get the vaccination, whatever it is. Different things are happening. life just getting in the way. They need, and again, with as well the way society's conditioned is we need instant results. We need to be able to make money straight away or within a relatively quick time. So that made me start to look at other ways to trade, other ways to look at different, ways within the platform that I was already a part of, to educate myself in other areas. And that's where HFX comes into play. And I learned HFX, binary options trading, and using the broker that we decided to go with. There's a few different brokers. So depending on where you're listening from and around the world, there'll be different brokers that would suit your particular one. It doesn't matter. Just making sure that it's suitable for where you are coming from. So we use pocket options, and I'm going to show you all that in a minute. But the really good benefit thing when it comes to HFX trading is I just found with my students coming through that they're able to learn the skill set within 2 to 3 weeks instead of 2 to 3+ months, and able to, make that money faster. So therefore getting some returns on their investment, which is really important for me. I wouldn't be putting my name out on this if I wasn't getting the results myself, and also wasn't seeing my students get the results. Now, I'm just gonna take a sip of water because my throat is sore. Now, what we're going to do is I'm just going to show you a little bit of the back end. That's enough of talking for me. And what I'm going to show you now is what's included when it comes to the HFX trading. So first things first, right? There's obviously a membership involved. Now, full disclosure, I still pay the same membership fee, right? I still pay for this membership. The reason being is it's 2 parts, right? The IM center, the IM back end is all and purely only educational, right? You don't actually trade on this platform. You don't put any money in this platform. You just pay a simple membership fee. Right, and then that's a month-to-month, no locking contracts. It's 175 USD, so whatever that works out to be Australian dollars, depending on conversion, around that anywhere between 210, 230 is roughly what it is. That's per month. Again, no lock-in. You can opt out at any time. I still pay that because it's not only purely educational, but there's also a live element to it as well. So essentially, you go in through here, and I'll show you in a moment, and you jump onto the live educators, and they come on. They're all 6-7-figure traders who show you basically like what they're doing. They call out live trades occasionally as well, and you can copy their trades. And I find for me, even though I've learned the skill set of trading, it's very beneficial because and then another reason as well, but because if I haven't got time to do a little bit of markup analysis and things like that, I'll just jump onto a live call, copy the trade, in and out, done, 20 minutes, thanks for coming, right? But the first things first is when you do end up enrolling, we would have already done a enrollment call. Both myself or anyone who's showed you this video, my leaders within my organization, they would have already showed you, and we would have already organized a follow-up enrollment call where we go through and show you all how to get and navigate your way through this. I spent a lot of money for a lot of education courses where I've had, almost diddly squat in terms of interaction with the person that was, promoting it or whatnot or endorsing it. And, you get thrown into a group with 10,000 people and it's just a fucking shit show. I've spent, upwards of 5 figures for courses that, didn't get really anything. I get no contact. So I'm really big on that. So I usually make sure I do one-on-one calls. That's also included, and that's all part of it. I don't charge, probably should charge, but I don't charge for my one-on-one coaching. Now, as I said, so once you've enrolled into your platform, simple thing, create a username and a password, you log in. You will navigate your way in here through to academies. Now, academies is obviously the learning process, and you'll click HFX because that's the one we're learning. While that loads, it's important to know that with this Iron platform, you can learn multiple ways to trade. So there's different options. You can choose obviously just to purchase one subscription on that singular HFX, or there's also FRX, which is Forex. There's also, which I've already clicked on it, so it's gone away. ESX, which is e-commerce, and also crypto, plus a few other things as well. So there's actually about 6 different ways you can learn how to make income streams from just in this one platform, which is really powerful. So as you see here, you're going to come in here and you'll click HFX English, and this is where you will jump into the first lot of videos, and it's very, very simple. You'll obviously click this first video here, it'll load up on another page. Bang. Now, the first few videos only 2 or 3 minutes, short, sharp. Do a couple of bullet points on a piece of paper, take some notes. As you progress through the videos, they will get a little bit longer and a little bit more in depth. Just one thing to take in note as well, as you're going through the videos, you'll see some videos here on IQ options. Now that's a different broker. Now, depending on where you are listening in the world, if you're outside of Australia, IQ options is a really good platform to use. But we just found here in Australia, based on our experience, it just wasn't a good platform. And so these ones here, you can actually skip through anything that says IQ options because we won't be using that broker. But make your way through all these videos. Once you've made your way all the way through these videos, fantastic. You would have already been set up, especially if you'd come through me. I would have already set you up with your demo account in Pocket Options, right? So obviously onto Google, just type in Pocket Options. I've already preloaded the video, my demo account here. So you can see, now this is Pocket Options. When you Google Pocket Options, you'll just see at the top, it says free demo. Now, sometimes depending on if you're using a Mac or Microsoft, it's not always at the top. So if you just scroll down a few, you'll see click free demo, load it up. I will, again, like I said, I normally have this already done for people already, so then they're able to just dabble around it and have a bit of an experience with demo. It's awesome, make money, make all the mistakes you need to make. But what we're seeing here, right, is essentially the platform that we use to make our money. This is where you'll be putting your money into. Now, it's independent from IAM. It's got nothing to do with me. You'll go in, you open this yourself. I've got a link that I'll be able to send you through that will be able to facilitate that and get you going. Now, for me personally, I fund my account with crypto. If you don't know how to do that, it's just a better option here in Australia again. The Australian government likes to really hone in our ability to try to escape the rat race and become independent. So that's the best way as well for tax purposes, because for me, I was able to send money from my CoinSpot account. I've been heavily invested in crypto for quite some time. I sent some crypto across to this platform, and then from here is where that became into money, and I was able to facilitate my account growth. Now, what I do is, like I said, I'll take some of that money out, put it back into crypto, accumulate more crypto, and then leave some money on this platform as well. The good thing for that is because, again, using through crypto, because you never withdraw that crypto back into your Australian bank account, you don't have to pay tax on it until you do decide to eventually withdraw that money from your crypto wallet. So it's just good for tax purposes because you don't have to pay daily tax. You'll only pay a tax on your capital gains when you do eventually decide to withdraw your crypto. So yeah, don't stress too much about that, but just duly noted for those who are a little bit more advanced with trading. That's how we go about it. I show people how to do that. If you haven't invested in crypto before, I show you how to launch a wallet, again, do all that, and I've walked my guys through it. I might even create a video just on that as well coming up. So just before we get into too much more of this, so don't stress too much about all these things. I'm not going to go over too much about them because you'll learn about what these things are down here, what these things are down here. But the other thing when it comes to trading, what I also have opened up now is here, which is called Liberty. Now, this is also through the IAM Academy that you were in. So when you're in here in academies, right, and you finished all your videos, then you're going to click on strategies, and then you're going to click HFX, and then HFX, you're going to click Liberty, which is another button. Liberty then will open up this. Now, this is essentially what I use to analyze the markets and have assessments on seeing when I make an entry and what's going on. The cool thing about IM is, right, and with what they have and why you pay for your subscription is they have preloaded indicators already in here, right? So you don't have to add any of this. This is already there. And these are really good, and you're going to learn about these. But, the long and short of what it is that we're looking for is, I'll draw on here, is when we see price come above this red line here and or below this black line here on both indicators, right? Here, and again here, which is just behind there, here and here. They don't, if you can see, look, they don't tend to spend too long in the upper and lower regions of these two graphed areas, right? Now, these are indicators, these are like oscillators, RSIs, basically show momentum and where the volume is happening, so the upside or to the downside. Now, these little candles here for absolute newbies, they indicate currently, because I'm looking at the 1 hour, I'll just change this to the 1 minute. These indicate here 1 minute worth of price action. Okay, now obviously I've zoomed in, so those things that I circled are all crazy. That's all right, we'll come back here. Again, just looking in this area, right, the 1 minute's a little bit faster, but every candle here represents 1 minute. The blue candles is obviously upward price action, red candles is downward price action. The powerful thing with Forex is you can profit whether the price goes up or down. That's what I love about HFX and in all foreign currency markets. It's not like normal stocks or crypto where you hope to buy low, let it go up, and then sell it high. This is a different form because you've got two quoted currencies you can buy and sell the market, and it's super, super powerful. So again, like I said, price doesn't spend too long outside of these upper and lower regions. You can see it. And when they go there, they don't go there for too long. So when we see indicators on both the top and the bottom one, and we see price is what's called here is oversold. So there's too much buying pressure at the moment, and we need to see a retracement in the market. We need to see the market fall. And as you can see, if we zoom in a little bit, right, we can see this previous one, although it's only very minuscule, I think the better one to probably look at is to the downside. Yeah, I'll just go back one here just to sort of see this is a better one right now. So again, I'm going to go over these things relatively quickly. I do not expect you to understand this right now, but I just want to show you an indication of what it is that we look for, right? And some of the things that we look for. We can see this big candle up here, this red one, with the long wick to the upside. Essentially, the wick means that the price tried to shoot up to here and then rejected, came back down, and then closed in the negative, right? Huge indication of price rejection. So price tried to come up, it's fallen away, looking like there's a reversal about to take place. Now that coincided with this little graph here and also this little graph here, being that we were both oversold on all those occasions, and we are looking to now to start to come down, sit down to the lower. And that's exactly what it did. We had 6 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 minutes of downward price action. So meaning if you'd gotten in, not initially on the first one, because sometimes it can fake you out and then continue its upward motion. You need to be patient. But essentially, once we saw the second candle starting to print, would have got in for a sell and you would have had no problem clearing. And that again helps with our indication process because we can see the lines are starting to fall down and falling down in a powerful motion. Combine that with here, we had selling, we had a lot of red. This is red volumes. I mean, selling volume. That's what these mean and how strong the volume is. So again, don't stress. I'm breezing through this really quickly. So I have this on, and this is part of your subscription fee, right? And this is another reason why I still keep my subscription fee, because I have indications like this. Keeps it very, very simple. Looking at live price action here, we've almost had the same kind of thing happen with a huge wick to the upside, price rejected off there. And what we have with our indicators, although we're a little bit behind, we had falling pressure, falling pressure, falling pressure. And this one personally for me, I'm going to see it's already come to the bottom here. So looking like this is going to continue up. So again, I wouldn't personally have traded it, even though that we had the indicators, just because it was a very short boom down, then back up again, right? So these are really good indicators that are added into the chart. So yeah, we've done that. So you've had a look at this, you've loaded this up. Fantastic. This is how I do with my trade. Get this ready, have a look. Awesome. I go over to pocket options too, have that loaded. Now on here, I just click this down arrow. And this shows you all of the pairs that are currently being paid out and the percentage they're being paid out per dollar for this particular broker, right? Now, OTC stands for over the counter. At the moment, do not worry about that. Please don't trade OTC. It's basically trading against the brokers as the itself, as opposed to the actual market. So we don't want to do that. It's really hard to profit off the OTC markets. So here, clearly, so the percentage just means out of dollar. So for $10, I'm going to profit $9.10 if I am to get this trade right for this particular trade pairing. So what I do is I star all these, boom, add them up, add them up, add them up, add them up. Fantastic. They're shot all across there. Now these change quite frequently, so very important that you watch, because there's been times where I've stuffed up and one's quickly dropped down to 50% and I made a trade and it's like all well and good, but it's not huge. And I won't trade anything under 80% and always look for things this time of night. It's almost 10 o'clock at night here. Is really good time. It's when the New York Stock Exchange and the get towards New York and London being open at the same time. There's huge volatility and you can see huge movements in the price action. So again, so EuroCAD here, load EuroCAD. Now, if I'm personally going to be looking at this one, okay, awesome. I'm going to load EuroCAD on here. So I already got Euro USD. So let's change this to EuroCAD. So I've just got to type it in. Click that. That'll load that pair. Now, I do have two computer monitors normally, because I will have this chart on one screen and the other pocket options on another. So it is a little quicker. So I do personally recommend not 20 screens, but at least two, just to really help. Now, I actually saw that was a really good opportunity there. Same as what I spoke at before. We had the red candle come up. We had a rejection. It's moving down. Lines coming down. Lines coming down. Fantastic. So when I go into pocket options here, this would have been a really good opportunity for a quick sell, right? Looking for a sell. Now, how do we do that? I'm going to do a demo trade now and show this with you guys by essentially over here, we've got our times. That's 1 minute. Now that's based on the actual market itself. So 1 minute is the 1 minute on our market indicators, or you can actually, and obviously pressing up is 2 minutes. You can choose whatever time you want, or you can manually have your own time. For 30 seconds is the least. Sometimes you can get 15 seconds, but that's what I've seen. Just for the sake of this particular trade, I'm just going to do a quick sell. Now what I've done is I've hit that. Now essentially what that means is for 30 seconds, I need the price that I've just entered at, because when I hit the sell button, it needs to stay below that for 30 seconds. If it stays below, I profit my 90%, my 91%, I think it was, for this particular pair. If I believe it was going to go up, I'd hit buy, right? Therefore, boom, I think it's going to go higher than my entry point. Fantastic. Now, we're seeing here, boom, no market. That was just literally me just coming in, didn't win the trade. Now, it's my demo account, doesn't matter. But that's the premise of what it is. In a moment, I'll go through a proper market and mark up and actually see and get a proper indication of where I want to take one to make a market entry. Now, over here is your amount. So how much you're willing to invest for your trade. And obviously 1,000 is the most you can do, but you can do multiple entries at once. Like I can hit buy, sell, sell, sell once. And like I said, you buy, which means for this particular pair, 85% means I'll profit $850, or I sell this pair, meaning that I'll profit 85% to the downside as well. Now I've got a few other indicators here. Don't stress, something for you to come back and look at another time and work your way through the videos. But that is just literally what I was looking for. So when I come on here, I make my markets. I have a look at my markets. I have a look at what's taking place, where are we going, what's happening, what are we looking for, and you learn through areas of price action that we're looking at to be able to best understand and interpret the markets. So again, flicking your way through, this one at the moment is paying the most, Euro USD at 91%. So I'll come back on here, Euro, I'll type this back in, Euro USD. I just realized I had that on the 1 hour. No wonder it didn't conflict. That was my fault, too busy talking. So turn this into the 1 minute and we can see what's happening here. Now, that strategy that I was showing you in terms of oversold, works in different markets. So like understanding during a consolidation market, when you get a lot of bounces through the Bollinger Band, so basically bounce, that works really well. This time of night when we're seeing takeoffs, essentially we're seeing huge moves to the upside. It's not going sideways, it's bullish. We're going up, or bearish in a huge directory. I tend to trade with the trend. So if it's trending up, I'm going to be looking for opportunities to buy, as opposed to trying to counter trend trade and catching the falls. It's really hard to catch a falling knife. Again, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, don't stress. This will come to fruition as you work your way through the education platform. Now, another thing as well, it's really important to take note. So you've got your online education, your how to trade videos. You've got your go live education, which I'm just going to quickly show you now as well. So if I click go live here, this is going to open up the live education portal, which is another added on benefit, part of being subscribed. Now, this not recommended until you've gone through videos, maybe not all of them, but at least 3/4 of the way through, and then you can start to come back and have a bit of a look-sees through here. So obviously go live education, you're going to click HFX because that's the one you subscribe to, but there's your other ones there if you are subscribed to others. And on here's a bit of a timetable. Now, this is a timetable based over in Australian Eastern. So a lot of these educators are from America predominantly, but there is a few. There was one here in Australia. There's some other ones as well. They get spaced all around the world, different language speaking as well. But these educators here come on live and speak to you live during their allotted time, and you can ask them questions. If anyone's live right now, you'll see that face just up there. I'm just seeing these live educators may not be HFX. So we've got Kevin. No, Kevin's not ours. That's right. So no live educators at the moment in HFX. But like I said, you got a dozen, if not more, here that you can come on. There's some other ones here as well. So what we'll do is, just for the sake of this video, we'll just jump on one who you hear a lot of, is Evan Cabral. He's one of the main HFX educators, and you'll listen to his voice a lot through the 100-200 series. Now, if he was playing live, his video would be literally playing live right through there automatically. There's a text box here. You can type in any questions. You can send them like ideas, whatever. Am I doing this the right thing? And they're really good with replying back. If you happen to not be able to make the live education, I do strongly encourage you to, because again, they will call live trades if you can get on. There are pre-recorded stuff. So everything that they do, it's recorded, it's left on here for you to come back. Every single session that he does. It will be on here, and there'll also be some favorite sessions, which is really important. Now, this is again important as well. These things like compounding method, candlestick training, these are just other forms of education that's outside of the 100-200 series to better understand what it is that you're looking for. Because when you go through the levels of learning, you need to make sure that at first you're just incompetent, right? You got unconscious incompetence. So you're not aware of the trading at all. You're incompetent, you're unconsciously incompetent. Then there's conscious uncompetence. So essentially you're aware of trading, you know what's going on, you've got a rough idea, but you're still incompetent, you haven't learned the skill set, right? And then you've got the next one, which is conscious competence, right? So now you're consciously aware, you're actively engaging, you are a little bit more competent, right? And then you've got unconscious competence, which is it's just like your subconscious, you just absolutely a wizard at it. You got no, like you just come on and there it is. You trained your eye fantastic. And that's the biggest thing is repetition. Spending hours through the chart time is very, very important to be able to train your eye, because that is what you're looking for. We're looking for repetition, seeing your setup take place, bang, execute, bang, execute, bang, execute. But compounding is very important too. This is another element, because again, we are teaching. It's not just here, give us your money, see you later, good luck, watch the videos. If you need help, I'm not going to help you. There's so much involved with this. And that's why I love this, because it is purely education, but there's so much of it and there's so many areas, plus what we also personally do. So you got a compound, that's very important as well. I won't touch too much on that, but you get a compound chart here. This is one that we've created for our team. This is just focusing on the power of compounding your money on top of each other. Your bank can give you your 0.02, but I like to try to focus on 10%. So every time I sit down for trading, which I tend to only trade 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday, Friday sometimes, and look at that 10% of growth per day. There are many things out there going to give you 10% growth, but you can do it yourself. So starting off with an account with $500, focusing on that 10% growth, your first day of trading, you obviously only need to make $50. Pretty simple. That's one trade. Obviously 90%, if you're doing one trade at $60 or thereabouts, $60 lot size, you're going to get your $50 profit. Boom, bang, see you later, come back the next day, right? That's an example of how you can do it. Basically, you just need to set a goal. This is something I do with a lot of my students to just be able to educate. We need to set a goal. We need to set a plan. I've got other students that need to make a daily money, like a daily wage. So we focus on making around about that $200 to $250 USD per day. Once they've made that, they bank it, withdraw it. So that comes into their account the next day. And then they focus on their account growth. Bang, grow that account by 10%. Then we go again, make it 250, pull it away. They're the ones that just need to make a daily wage out of it, right? Then you've got other ones that are high profile investors that just want to be able to continue to see that compound growth, take a bit more action. They've got plenty of money. They've got a bit of an investment kitty. They want to see a pool and just grow a nest egg. Different set of circumstances. So you need to set what's the best for you and what it is that you desire to get out of this. So that's why I come in here and show them as an example what it is that we're looking for. So if you're starting at this is where it's really powerful. A lot of people don't know this. It's the 8th wonder of the world, compound interest. $500, you're focusing on 10% growth per day, which is quite high. You can obviously go lower, be a bit more obtainable, but $500, making that daily profit, keeping it in there after 30 days, you've almost got 10 grand, right? So in reality, only a month, you're at just over 10 grand. Just over a month, right? It's pretty bloody crazy. And again, being smart, focusing, keeping it in there, reinvesting. Month 2, we can see it jumps up pretty bloody quickly, doesn't it? It's pretty crazy to see that you got 150,000. After a year, which I don't have fully in a year, but let's just say half of the year, it's on the higher end. Is it attainable? Yes, it's possible. But, you would have taken some profit out along the way. You probably would have bought a few things, but you can see there, it's quite a substantial chunk of money. right? This is really, really powerful. And this is what the banks use against us. It's what investors, bond yields, whatever it is, all these guys, these high profile individuals, they know the power of this. They get taught this. That's why they make so much capital, especially with the banking system, because we put our money in the bank and then they go and trade it on the stock markets, or they go trade it on the foreign currency markets and make their money on our money that we're just sitting there and get our 1.2. That's the biggest Ponzi scheme in the world, is the banking institutions and the banking structure. But, each their own when it comes to that shit. So that's really powerful. You get sent that. I send that through to my students as well. Now, the other thing as well, we've got a Discord. If you don't know what Discord is, a bit like Telegram. Just really powerful here because we've got a little community focus here. This has been created by myself and my organization, as it's taking a while to load up. Bang, you can see here, rules, beginners, broker options, trade management, mindset development. That's another thing as well, which I haven't touched on yet, is we have a huge focus on personal development, growth, and mindset, because understanding that when it comes to trading, it is 110% psychological. The biggest thing is your ability to, how do you react to when you lose a trade? Because it's going to happen. This method, for me personally, around about 80%. So I'm going to get a couple wrong. It is what it is. You get faked out, unfortunately, with the market. A proper risk to reward, making sure that you're not over leveraging your account, you're not going all in on a trade. You're only risking your certain percentage per trade, understanding what it is you're trying to get. The trades that you lose are not going to hurt you because you've been smart through the reverse compounding, reinvesting your profits. But, have a daily banking that you need to do, like pull that away, and then just making sure that you're trading with the house's money, things like that. There's different methods and strategies involved. But mindset's just hugely important. So we run, as well included, we run here in Australia with our Australian organization. We've got a call on Tuesday night, which is mindset. Got a call on Wednesday night, which is leadership and development, as well as more mindset. And then Thursday night, we've got a HFX, which is this, which I include mindset. It's big. It's why I've been able to adapt and learn the skill set of trading so fast, was purely because I like to think I have a really good mindset, done a lot of personal development, a lot of reading, just self-managed all my shit for quite some time, purely based on, again, through personal development, discipline, leadership skills, all those things, goal setting, understanding values, working on your subconscious, working through limiting beliefs, how that affects, the markets. Because again, the markets is just all psychological, and we have a huge emphasis on that. And we've got a good community around it, and I think that not enough of this gets taught, along with, really in the education system, we should be taught two major things, all those mindset and personal development things I just spoke about. And instead of mass learning trigonometry, you should be learning how to trade the financial markets. But if the school system and education system actually did that for us, we'd have a lot more successful people, and people not living and stuck in, therefore being blue collar workforce, 9 to 5, slave labor. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Some people, I've got plenty of friends that just want to do that, and that's fine. They're happy. But, I just think we'd have such a different society if this was enforced in our education systems. But different conversation for another time. Right, so that's enough talking. I'm going to go for another trade here. So I'm just there was our fall away there. So this is just one thing I just want you to take in consideration, because I see a lot of my students essentially get faked out. I'm just going to show you this on here, because this is really quite common. For example, that one trade that I did as well, that one where we did have the fall away, I think it was this one here with the fall. Oh, that was on a different pairing. But this is what you can see quite often, where you see a fall away, and everything falls down. And you think, okay, this is awesome. This is starting to fall. But then we get a bounce and it continues back up because of the current momentum. So just being aware that happens, and it's common. And I get sometimes faked out as well. So don't stress, just learning. You're going to learn these things. But being patient and waiting to see the move take place is very important. As you can see here, that's that downward momentum. So we'd have really liked to have got into that trade. Appreciate if you're still watching this long way through. So these ones all did their fall, all did their run. That would have been great to be able to get into, which is fine. And if I don't see one take place, we'll do another hodgepodge one. No, we won't actually do that. When you begin to understand market structure and flow a little bit more, like I can see here quite clearly, we've got two areas down here that we want to be aiming back towards, right? This is our previous, and then it's a double bottom, double lows. So this is where we're wanting to move to. So we can see a huge market volatility come up. I'm just going to hit in a, once this settles, because this is going to settle up here, I'm just going to go in for a sell. So I've just done now in terms of time. A lot of things ask like, what's your time, blah, blah, blah. I predominantly do 2 to 3 minute trades, but I don't want to wait 2 to 3 minutes for this to go through. So I'm just doing shorter trades at the moment. And just so I can show you. But essentially, again, that red line there, I've hit sell because I believe that the market's going to be below this line after a minute. How do I know this? Well, at the moment, we're just following market trend. So at the moment, the trend has been trickling down. We've created lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. Do we have an area of interest? Yes, we do. We have equal lows here, right? So this is an area where they seem to be wanting to trace down to, right? So just being very patient, waiting for an area where I think price is a little bit higher to then execute a sell. So that was a really good manipulated. That just came in and filled this imbalance. Don't stress. Don't worry about this if you're not knowing what I'm talking about. That wick came up, boom, filled that a little imbalance to pretty much a 50 to 80 to 70% retracement. Bang, that's a really good opportunity. I just needed to make sure it didn't bulge up. So just waiting for that pullback. That's why I waited a little bit. Bang, sell's gone in. We've got 22 seconds remaining. And this looks like it's going to clear. Now, I know this is different to what I said because we were oversold. I wasn't looking for a bounce, but I'm trading at night. Now, at night's a little bit different because we get those huge bullish and huge bearish movements, right, at nighttime. So with this, what's happening, knowing where market is, I can clearly see that this is where it wants to come to. We've got lots of strong momentum down. I'm going to trade with the trend. Now, that just got cleared. I just profited $850 from that trade, bang, within a minute. What was a minute 10 or something? Very, very powerful, this skill set, right? And I'm going to leave it there with that because I've done enough talking. But you can choose as little as 30 seconds and you can be profiting $850 in 30 seconds. Now, if I was to, in that same trade, if I was to hit that sell execution 1, 2, 3, therefore doing 3 trades at $3,000, 3 times 8, 16, we're looking at what, $1,800 profit in 30 seconds, as little as 30 seconds. It's crazy. And I do that sometimes with some of my trades. If I see 100% Goldie, like that one there would have been great. If I was trading live, bang, sell 1, 2, 3, awesome, profited 3 times on that, great. I've got a bit more money in my account. I have the ability to do that. I don't recommend doing that at the start, but as you work your way through. So it's pretty powerful what you can see with this learning this skill set. Like I said, this is an easier way. Money mindset is so important, so goddamn important, because I do not want you to become gambling addicts, because it can be very easy to sit here, lose a trade, everything goes out the window. Fuck, I need to get back my loss. Bang, bang, bang. It's not the fucking pokies, right? It's very, very important. And I've had some people come in as students and they've treated it like that. I said, no more trading. We need to get your mindset right, because it is psychological. Because the markets, sometimes even when you get all your confirmations right, they're still going to sometimes go in the opposite direction. That's fine. No problem. Step away, walk away from that pair, come back to another one. I have a golden rule. No more than, if I lose 2 trades in a row on a pair or any pair at all, I put the computer away. I don't come back till another couple of hours later, whatever, maybe come back the next day if it doesn't seem like it's doing its thing, right? So look, that's pretty much everything for right now. We've covered all the different platforms. Just to summarize everything again. So the membership, $175 USD per month. It's still 28 days. So that's around about that 250 to 210 between there per month for Aussie dollars. And with that, you get your how-to videos, your education, your academy programs, 100 to 400, shitload of videos there. You get all your live education as well. Just got plenty of hours constantly through there, plus all the pre-recorded stuff, plenty of stuff there. You get all of our Australian stuff that we're doing in terms of our live education. We get 4 calls a night, 4 calls per week. Fantastic. You've got that, plus you get the mentorship of myself or anyone who's showed you this video. If they're one of my leaders within my organization who I've been upskilling as well, they'll be able to show you and help you as well. So that ongoing, there's a lot involved. And I'm just promise you right now that whatever it is that you desire, that's cause you to be interested in trading, whether it's just making more money, whether it's being able to learn a skill set, whether it's being able to, create more money to be able to leave your job so you can have more time with your family, whatever pain point it is for you. I just know that this is the thing that will be able to do it for you, because you're not out there selling a product. You're not out there trying to, fork off things when in society at the moment, so much unknown. People don't want to really spend. Spending is becoming tighter and tighter. So upskilling yourself, learning new skill sets, learning something like this that's going to pay you for the rest of your life, because you can sit down sit down, make your money, get in, get out, and you don't have to leave your liquidity in for multiple years. Therefore, having the more chance for manipulation take place. Whatever happens, it can be a massive market crash, like all the market crash back in March when Rona hit. Everything just absolutely dumped. Therefore losing all your profits. This is in, out, leave your money, go again, in, out, boom. I love that. I love that concept, and you can pick it up and put it down whenever you want, right? And the markets are open 24/5 in terms of the foreign exchange market, but this does offer you to be able to trade 24/7. So you got no bullshit excuses, right? So again, thank you very much for taking your time to listen to this. Hopefully it was informative. Get back to the person who shared this with you. If it was me, get back to me. And otherwise, I'll stay tuned and hopefully get to see you again on the next video, guys. Bye for now. Peace.